right? Another video I had somebody send me this today. This is a client of ours. They sent me some video. The video is by A Good Feeling Incorporated, which looks like it's probably a dog training company. Okay. And they just said, do you agree with this assessment? I feel like this is how my dog plays. He likes to use his paws and arms a lot, and he's vocal, but I never thought about it this way. I realize Instagram has all kinds of videos and opinions. Maybe a conversation for your podcast on this one, if you haven't covered it before, how to tell play versus done playing. In the video,
this dog is trying to tell the other dog to stop playing. She jumps up, she snarls, she uses her arm to push her down, to slow the pace down, and then she offers a shake off. This is an example of one dog telling the other dog it is done playing.
Okay, so just a short little clip of, in this case, if I were to look at this video, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with what this trainer is saying in it. Mm-hmm. You know, the body language of the one dog, it seems like it's kind of just chilling. It's not attempting to interact with the other dog at all. The other dog's pushing it. And then it does a quick and sudden burst of arousal towards the other dog, right? Mm-hmm. Or an intense display of dominance towards the other dog to get the other dog to back off, and then disengages again, right?
Yeah.
So sure, in this case, I would say that probably is this dog communicating that it doesn't want to play anymore, right? Mm-hmm. But what do we do with that information? That's the question, right? This person looked at it and they said, this is how my dog plays. He plays with his paws and arms a lot, and he's vocal, right? Mm-hmm. You know? So because she saw this video, I'm assuming, and she can correct me if I'm wrong, obviously, I'm assuming she's looking at it like, well, wait a minute, maybe my dog doesn't like to play as much as I think that he likes to play, and that when he does these types of things, it's showing he's uncomfortable, and maybe I need to stop the play, or maybe I need to not put him in these situations because I don't want to make him uncomfortable and stress him out, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could get you overthinking about the things you do.
For sure.
But with this particular dog we're referencing, one, it's a German Shepherd. German Shepherds are notoriously very vocal dogs, right? They play, they growl, they grumble. They can be really teethy, right? They open their mouth and the teeth are always showing and it looks snarly. They can be very pawsy. They like to jump and bounce and get on top of dogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But given the entire context of how that dog plays, he's also generally seeking out the play in many cases, right? Mm-hmm. Or he's reciprocating the play when another dog goes to do that, and it turns into a whole kind of, frenzy of them playing with each other and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the issue with getting back to different videos that you might watch online and needing to understand your particular dog and apply it to your particular case. Because none of these rules are hard and fast rules, right? The other thing, too, I always tell everybody, I think I replied, I said, maybe, but you got to be really careful with videos on Instagram, especially socialization ones. The same body language and behavior from one dog to another can mean the polar opposite thing with another dog. Mm-hmm. German Shepherds in general are very handsy, vocal, teethy dogs. That's basically their default. It has nothing to do with stop playing in most cases with them. It's just how they play. When you tack that onto the idea that play is, in general, is a display of dominance back and forth, you realize it's all pretty normal. Right? So the jumping on top and the controlling, I think she said in one of these things, the dog was jumping on top of the other dog to try to slow it down, right? Yes, in that particular case, it very well could have been without knowing all of the context of both of those dogs and what happened before or after that individual clip.
Yeah.
It very well could have been the dog was putting a big display of dominance on to try to get the other dog to realize, whoa, I should probably back off a little bit. This dog's a little bit tougher than I am, or whatever it may be, right? But in general, most of the time when dogs are playing with each other, play, I always say, is a competition back and forth amongst each other, trying to figure out kind of who's more dominant than the other on a varying spectrum, right? And dogs are going to do that while they're playing in general to try to assert themselves over each other. And then a lot of times when you see, a good play session going on, you'll see it kind of go back and forth where one dog acts like the dominant one and pushes and the other one's kind of submitting to it a little bit. Then it'll reverse a little bit. Then it'll reverse a little bit, depending on, again, the two dogs that you're socializing with each other.
Yeah.
But it's not a hard and fast rule that I would think too much into past just like, oh, yeah, maybe for that case, that kind of applies.